Hey guys, it's Rally here and welcome to episode 13 of Let's FIFA 18. And we're continuing from where we left off in the last one. We're into the draft. So we built this little Premier League team with Carlos Vela and Griezmann into it as well. And then we have Neymar as our super sub. And we're into the second round of the draft as we're starting off this episode. And we'll see how many games we can play with this team before we either lose or go out of the draft, or maybe we end up winning it. We'll see. Anyways, we jump into the first match, and my opponent had a nice Premier League and La Liga squad. He got Info, Messi, and Ronaldo up top. Those are always kind of difficult to stop. A nice midfield as well, Herrera, Iniesta, and Bakayoko, and the defense not bad either. So a nice little squad my opponent got there. And we start off in the first minute, Griezmann on the ball. In the last episode, I gave Hazard and Neymar a lot of praise, saying they were really, really good to play with. But I also got to play a bit more with Griezmann, and he's very, very good as well, and definitely a player I would love to get my hands onto. I'm not too sure how expensive he is, but I think I'll need a couple of 100,000 to pick him up. But it would be amazing to pick him up because he can also do that El Tornado skill move, which you might see in this episode. But look at that lovely Cruyff from Griezmann to get yet another goal, make it 2-0, and give us the perfect start to the second round of the draft. My opponent did, however, also create chances. He has some nice play, but we were able to block off a Messi shot there. 19th minute, Griezmann with another Cruyff turn. We played around, and I sort of liked the formation I was playing with, 4-3-3 attack. There was a lot of places I could sort of get some combination play going with my midfield and my attack. But I guess one thing I didn't like that much from the formation is when I got hit on the counter attacks and such, having that one center attacking mid, and I felt he sometimes was a little bit far pushed forward. But when, like for example, I would substitute Neymar on. I did that in the first round of the draft, and I'll also do it in this match when we get into the second half. Like getting him in on the center attacking mid, is very nice going forward, but defending maybe I don't know. I have to figure it out. I still like the formation, so might be something to try in divisions. Anyways, you saw me using a little combo there with the El Tornado with Griezmann, but unfortunately the shot was blocked off. And into the second half we went where? Well, Neymar got onto the pitch, and playing with Neymar is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed playing with this draft team because just so many good players into it. It just feels like when you play with a budget Serie A team, I guess we're a little bit above budget now. I guess it's worth maybe, I don't know, 50, 60,000 coins by now, I think. So I guess it's a little over budget if you're looking for a cheap team. But that team compared to the players you get in the draft is nothing. And just so much fun playing with these crazy players. So we might play a bit more of the draft just to try out some more crazy players and figure out who are we going to try and save up for and get into a team at one point. Anyways, as you can see, my opponent was definitely pushing on to try and get back into the game, but we were able to have it at 2-0 until the 86th minute. I tackled it to Hazard, he would send it in, and Messi winning the header to make it 2-1, but that was also how the game was going to end. So we win the second round of the draft, and that means we're into the semifinals, and I think at this stage, if you reach the third round of the draft and go out there, I think you have a still pretty alright chance of making profit from the draft, or at least break even, because as I mentioned in the last episode, here in the beginning of FIFA, a lot of items just go for a lot, even the low-rated players, because, well, there's some of the early squad building challenges where people want to get these players in and that kind of stuff, so usually they go for a fair bit, and you can make some coins back. So if we can get some player packs or something like that, that would be very, very nice. So Griezmann on the ball here right from the start, and I found the Cruyff term to be very effective if you're running away from goal, like just on the edge of the box and then turn the defender. You can get in for some really good positions, and it seems like it just opens up a lot of space. And Hazard here using the Cruyff, then a ball roll and a finesse shot into the far corner. Lovely goal from him to bring me into the lead, and playing nicely with Hazard here, getting some skill moves going and sort of weaving back and forth, sending it in, and tried to get a volley onto that one, but not able to get it past the defender there. But we hang on to the ball. We get to Griezmann somehow, but on the weak foot, it is not a very good shot, and it remains at 1-0. My opponent also in this match playing it on to Neymar, going with the finesse shot, and Bekovic able to save that one. He will send it back in, and I couldn't quite get rid of the ball. Tried to pass it to Hazard, but Aurier there to pick the ball up, and my opponent keeping the pressure on me. Into Aguero. Aguero turns around with the scoop. He shoots, and it just bounces all over the place, and Ronaldo is gonna miss from point blank range. I could not, I couldn't believe all the crazy bounces, but I couldn't believe that Ronaldo missed that either. So my opponent definitely pushing on, as you can see here. But then we got into the second half, and we got a good period here in the 60th minute onto the 70th minute. We play well. That lovely alternator skill over the play on the ground. The volley, unlucky not to go in. Looked really, really nice. And just a couple of minutes later, again on the ball, Hazard breaking on through the roulette past the defender. The finesse shot not good enough, though. Not going into the far corner. Then Neymar on the ball, 69th minute, up to Hazard. We turn the defender, but the shot could not beat Butland in the goal. So that was 10 minutes where I had a ton of chances. Couldn't put the ball into the back of the net. And I still only had that one goal lead. And unfortunately, it was going to slip up right here. My defender just stuck in the ground when I passed to him. He did not move. And I think it was Aguero just storming in, picking the ball off me, making it 1-1. Such a stupid goal to give up. My opponent almost getting another one there with Ronaldo. And he was not done as we went into the 90th minute. On foot, Ronaldo takes the shot, but at least it was over the goal. And then we'd go into extra time, where I brought Willian on to the pitch. I brought him on as a striker, a little bit of stamina here in the late stages, and it worked out as a charm because he would get me a goal in the 99th minute, a break, bring me into the lead. My opponent on the ball, trying to break forward and get back into the game. He gets the shot in, and we're able to sort of clear it, pick the ball up, out to Hazard. He plays a 1-2 with Willian, the Chelsea combination play here, and we run on through. Hazard not with a lot of stamina left, neither does Aurier, but we're able to go with the chip, a very nice looking chip, and that had been a lovely goal had that got in. I was a little bit sad it didn't go in because it looked really nice, that chip. I sort of just slowed down and hit it. I don't think it hit the defender, but I'm not sure. It looked quite interesting, but we won the match in the end, but I wish I had scored that chip. Anyways, we went into the final of the draft, and this stage I was pretty confident now we'd at least get some pretty decent packs, and we're up against a very nice team. He got an icon, and the front three, especially Neymar and Mbappe, that is something I would like to have a squad around at one point. And then, of course, Lucas on the right wing. And overall, a really nice looking team. And look at this from Lucas. That little weave around my defender. Very nicely done. And 1-0 to my opponent very early on. But we go a little dummy here with Griezmann beat the defender. And as I mentioned in the last episode, I mentioned a lot of stuff in the last episode, I suppose. But the fact that you can see which player your opponent is controlling makes it very useful to time your skill moves. So we got a goal back. My opponent almost scoring as well. There's a lot of stuff happening in this match because he had a very attacking formation, meaning he had a lot of players going forward. I could not stop Mbappe. Rapid and Neymar as well. Very, very difficult. They're just running through my defense. But at the same time, he only had 3 guys in the back, so I could also create stuff going forward. So this was just a game with a lot of chances. And we get a chance in the 45th minute. We played on to Hazard using the chop, and then another finesse shot goal from him. Very, very nice goal. And the Ronaldo chop is a skill move I'll try and include more in my play. It is not very effective, to be honest, compared to other skill moves, but I think it's a really nice looking skill move, and in real life it is quite effective, something you see quite often, so I'll try and get it into my play a little bit. And yeah, we'd get a goal here. I got Kovacic onto the pitch because I felt he was very difficult to stop in the counter-attack. So getting a fast play into the midfield to track back would be nice. And he also worked out for me because he got a goal to make it 3-2. But Mbappe, I could not stop him, as I said. And he would score to 3-3 in the 83rd minute. And then we'd go into extra time. Willian coming onto the pitch yet again, just like he did in the last round. And we get a huge chance here. We take the shot. Should really have put that into the back of the net on 2 occasions. But I did not do. And a couple minutes later, I was again running forward here. My opponent thinking I was going to cut inside with Neymar, but I just decided to try and go for the run all the way through. And again, I just couldn't put the ball into the back of the net when it mattered. And instead, Mbappe running, playing it to Costa, and Sane with the header to make it 4-3 in the 110th minute. So I was looking to see if I could complete a late comeback. I got a free kick into Villian, would take the shot, but Mandanda was just saving everything in extra time, and thus I would lose the final. Very, very difficult game. He had a lot of stuff going forward. I had a lot of chances as well. It was a lot of fun playing the draft, and unfortunately I couldn't win it, but still we get some alright prizes. We get a Jumbo Premium Gold Pack and a Premium Gold Players Pack, and player packs usually make you some coins because most players will at least go for a little bit. So I started off with the Premium Gold Players Pack. We have 3 rare players in it. No amazing player, no big flair, anything like that. What is it? This is glow this year, isn't it? It's a glow on the pack you have to look for when it opens up if you're going to get a big player. We get Carlos Vela, which I actually quite liked in my draft. Parolo, a player that goes for at least a couple thousand coins. Same thing with Sanson. So already here we have a couple of thousand coins back. Probably around the 10,000 coin mark, which is quite nice. That is pretty much almost the coins made back on the draft, and we still have a pack to go. So we'll open that up. Not an all players pack, but a pack with a bunch of different items in it. And players wise, we wouldn't really get anyone amazing. We would get Viviano, but at the end of the day, with the 2 packs, we do actually make a little bit of profit from the draft, and that was sort of what I was looking for. If I could win it, that would be amazing. Maybe get something even better, but still pretty happy with my draft. Got some squad fitness, some position modifiers, and I would hang on to quite a bit of the stuff of the fitness cards, even though you might see me sending them to the transfer list. I think I'll sell on the position modifiers though, because I still wanted to make some profit here. So in the end, we kept some of the consumable items, we sold some of them, and we sold a bunch of players, or at least you'll see that in the next episode. But for now, we're going to end it off here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.